come and say setup here. Now he'll come and he start pressing it. Arey, चालू नहीं हो रहा है. Why it's not working? Because this is not connected to that system. So when I said set it up, I just left it in a broad spectrum. So these are the things. Sometimes nobody will come and tell you to do particular thing. You will have to do it thinking. Setup करना है, इसे करना है, did I test, did it work? वो सब करना है. Okay, so that was it. So you know how this is, what is this called? Laser pointer. So this is a wireless presenter. Okay, presenter means I don't have to go and do click up, click down every time like this. So I will connect this system to it. Now to connect it, wireless connect करने तो क्या करता है? Wi-Fi रहेगा, नहीं तो कुछ तो Bluetooth रहेगा, बराबर है? तो अभी इसमें Bluetooth system कहाँ पे है? You put the battery, confirm कि light चालू है कि नहीं? Light चालू नहीं है, click the button. Light आया, बराबर है? So now this is working, but it is not changing. Is it changing? It's not changing. Why it is not changing? Because there is a dongle. This is something called a dongle. So I have to connect this to this device. Then this device will understand it. Now I'll be able to probably then now the problem is I am wasting my time, man. You know, this should have been done before even I have come inside. Understood? I'm not blaming you, please. I'm just trying to show you that you have to be proactive. You have to start thinking out of the box. Where I want to do, I gave you that out of the box last time, correct? You need to understand customer है क्या उसको क्या चाहिए. No further setting is done. Actually, now we have got given only 3 days of training sessions for very short time to learn lots of things. We are just going to do in general. You all have done the essentials online, correct?
Yes.
You went to the AVIXA site and you have come for the exhibition. You have seen how systems, what are the systems and all. So we won't go too deep into asking questions on those things. But since you all are already correlating with something now, I'll just move through. First day I will take only audio. So if you have any questions related to sound, audio, okay, now I said 2 things, sound and audio. What is this? What is the difference between sound and audio? Sound and audio is same? I said sound and I said audio. So we say audio system, we say sound system, correct? So is that same terminology is the same, audio and sound? Or is it correlating to something? It's correlating, but sound and audio are two different words, or I would say, when you say sound, sound is related to something you hear. How you hear? When some vibrations are there in the air, it will disturb the particles in the atmosphere, and that will create some kind of sound wave that will touch your, so it is mechanical, correct? So something that is moving, like a transducer or something that will hit your ear will connect to your brain, saying that some vibrations came, and that becomes the sound to the mind. And you think you heard something as a sound. Audio is anything related to signal part. When I say audio, sine wave, signal waves, audio signal, all that thing is related to signal, nothing to do with the mechanical person. Okay? So when I say my amplitude is so much and this is so much and all that sound may, so it is related to signal. Okay? You can ask question anytime. You don't have to wait at the end of the show when I say, oh, question answers, then only you can ask. You feel you didn't understand, ask me, I will explain it in a different way. Okay? So whatever we are going to do is for practical today. And second, tomorrow we will do something on video. So what is AV? When we are talking of AV is audio, video, and what else you all are going to learn more on the as an AV? Lighting, correct? Lighting, control systems. So all these things come into it. Now, all this related to also again, you have to connect somewhere something, right? Without power, so electrical. So you should know your little basics of electrical. Otherwise, say, I am getting scared to connect it. It shouldn't happen. So you should know if I'm plugging it into 230 volts. They say इसमें 12 volts का adapter is there. Do we connect it to 230? No. If it is a 12 volt, then I have to connect it to a battery or to another device. बराबर ना? 12 volts और 230 volts में बहुत फर्क आता है. Okay, and this is a DC, this is AC. You have 230 DC also, but so you have to understand electrical background also. So you will not get scared कि मेरे को connection करना है, wire push करके अंदर डालना है, shock लगा, वो what happening. Little shock is good because when you get a shock, means your blood circulation is happening. Okay, that's the best part. Everything don't go and hold on to that. So we'll do that, and third day we will do complete related to it. So you can grab a chair. So this is third day we will do something related to installation. We will start a demo when we are doing all the things as installation, but installation के लिए क्या क्या चाहिए? Tools चाहिए. You have a toolkit, right? I will show you what are the toolkits. So we will be one of the guides to. I forgot my bag remained in the house only. I was in a rush today. I bring it to you. So we have it. So, tools, instruments. Your lab, I went just now entered the electronics lab, and there are a lot of instruments in the lab. Okay, so we'll have some instruments which are required when you go on the site. Multimeter की जरूरत है. Multimeter कभी यूज किया कि नहीं किया? Laboratory में क्या क्या आता है? Multimeter में बोले तो क्या होता है? Voltage check करते हैं, current check करते हैं,
resistance check करते हैं.
and is what?
Current.
Ampere is what? Current. So she said current meter. So current meter, ampere is the unit of current. Okay, so and you don't say ampere is current for say maybe what is meter check current. Then what else you can check? Continuity. Okay, so resistance you can check. What else? Capacitance you can check. Inductions you can check. So but multimeter is in some meters all available. Some meters maybe 2 or 3 are available. So more than one. If I'm buying only ohms meter, then it will be only for resistance. Then I can't check voltage with that. So some people bring ohms meter and they'll put it into 30. It is. So you can't take a ohms meter and connect over there. Or even if your multimeter, if it is on a, you got a multimeter here? You don't have a multimeter. Okay, we take one from the lab so we understand. We'll put it in ohms meter and connect and see what happens. Okay. Then I'll have to make a key. Fine भरना पड़ेगा मुझे. Unit working condition में लिखेगा return आएगा और burnt out. That will happen very comfortably. So that was all we do practicals. Installation में क्या होता है? Now installation means not only going to take a multimeter and go, okay? But just because you all are girls or young ladies, you all are not saying अरे मैं आएगा, मैं खाली document लेगा, उधर install किया, okay. वायर मार दिखता है, गंदा दिखता है, फोटो निकालेगा, भेज देगा, ऐसा नहीं. That is your job. But you will also learn how what is drilling, installation कर रहा है, कोई fix करना है, light fix करना है, तो क्या क्या करना है, what is installation, okay? Maybe you don't have to do it depending upon how the company, team or management or project management will do, how you grow into that domain. But in my team, every girl when they join my company, I used to put them with a drill machine to go and install. A single person had to go on the site and they had to learn to fix something on the wall. Display डालना है, बड़ा display डालना है, तो उसको कैसा alignment करना है, how to drill, what is the size of the drill bit. So technically you have to understand, because if you are a supervisor or you become a project manager and you have an engineer, क्या मालूम है, 4 स्क्रूज फिट करना है तो खाली 2 फिट करके बोला डिस्प्ले डाल दिया, हाँ मैडम हो गया काम. He did half his job. But if that 4 screws are not fitted, tomorrow that display can fall. Then who will be responsible? Project manager will be responsible. Because he didn't check and it was not done. So because you don't know about it, उसने टोपी बनाया. We put only 2 screws and finished the work. Okay, so it shouldn't happen. So that's the reason you should understand the installation part. So we will just go to general. In one day it's very difficult to cover it up, but afterwards I think your technical teams will start training you on the color in the car. Okay. Any questions? Ask me. Okay. So today we are going. I started connected. It's not coming on. It's not playing there also. The driver is not coming. We'll find this problem after the line, but I don't want to waste time now. That's happening. What happened? Why it didn't happen first time? This is a practical problem. What happened? Why it didn't happen first time?
USB is not connected properly.
It didn't connect properly, okay. Or I connected the USB, this is the new laptop of mine, so it does not, it didn't have a driver properly, it had to search for the driver, so it had to go online. So my network is not on here. It didn't get it properly. It could be one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons, okay. It didn't happen. Then what I did is, there is over here one button that is for presentation. I didn't press that time. So now I press presentation. Now this up and down is taking it. Okay. So probably it came on, but it didn't got to connect to the transmitter. Is it transmitter or receiver? When I transmit something, it is a transmitter that is receiving and giving a signal to the laptop. Okay, so these are transmitter devices. Same in the microphone also. Okay, now I'm not looking at the back. Okay. So microphone also, wireless microphones also, there is a something called transmitter receiver. I didn't bring wireless microphone, but always you will have a device that has to be connected to the mixer or an amplifier, and wireless microphone has to go around. So what is happening? I will speak in the wireless microphone. It will get connected to the receiver. So it will transmit on certain frequency. There are 5 over here, and this is having one frequency which is matching only one. It will only match that one. So even if I am looking at this one and trying to connect here, but it is actually connecting to this unit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units are placed. So when you go to for big installations, more than one microphone, cordless microphones are happening. You go for shows, 8, 10 people are using. You go for auditoriums, then multiple. You give it to the audience also for answering. So you can't say that only one mic will work in one place, not like that. It will be multiple. So there are different frequency ranges that each one will talk only to one unit. So if I do the setting, it will work. Now if I do another setting with another missing, it will not receive it at all. If I switch this off and I say no, no, dusra chalu hai, it will come, it won't happen. Because that's the same frequency. But if two units of wireless microphones are connected and both are same frequency, then when I am speaking this, both will understand that same frequency, something is coming and talking to me, the receiver will say. So you will start getting sound two times. And one will try to stop the other one will try to stop this one. So you get sometimes sound is coming, you get cracking, noise, so that is called cross talk. Okay? Mostly in classrooms. So for example, I'll give you a simple example. In all the classrooms you will have a wireless microphone. Frequencies are supposed to be different. But I am having a frequency, say 800 Hz, 800 megahertz in this classroom. And then it is 802 megahertz. So there is a difference of 2 megahertz. So this when I speak, that receiver will not pick up. Okay? And whatever is happening over there will not come inside this. But if I change that to 800 megahertz and I'm speaking here, that classroom will hear everything that I speak. That receiver also will pick up, this receiver also will pick up. But what will happen, it will not be continuous because any receiver will pick up one and it will not allow the other one to pick up the signal. So you will get, sometimes you will get some sound coming, sometimes you won't get the sound coming. So it will be like clash. So that is called a cross talking. So you should avoid in same area to have similar settings of microphones for wireless. I'm talking on the wireless thing. Okay? Understood? Initially, when you had a mobile also and you're talking on the mic and you keep your mobile with a sound. I think earlier, now their generation is all grounding is happening. So they have got special frequency grounding for noise interferences and all that. But initially it used to always happen. You just come with the mobile, somebody had a mobile in the pocket, they come with the microphone, sound will come. So then you wonder what happened. And then they go back, it goes. So that was wireless. That is also wireless, no? Mobile is also frequency megahertz only. So it used to capture and it used to get that crosstalk things. Okay. So let's start with audio system. You understood sound and audio now? So audio is nothing but when we are talking of waveforms, signals, amplitudes, and all that. So hearing and sound. What do you need for a sound system? Basically, okay. Anybody can just give me what all you will require in a sound system. What is the chain in the sound system? Equipment wise. Now you saw some things lying down over here, correct? So what all you will require in a sound system? General, अगर आपको पता है तो you tell me. Speaker, yes, correct. Microphone you will require, yes, to pick up the signal. So it is the source, okay. So microphone, I said source. So what are the source you can have? DVD player, mobile connections, you connect a mobile, laptop can be a source. So I'm giving a signal from that to the system, correct? So that is a source. Then what else? Mixer, okay, good. That is the processing unit. Okay, mixer. Then cables and connectors. Without people unless you have a wireless system. Nowadays you have speakers and all the wireless system, but that doesn't work so well. So that industry is still far away to catch up. So you have cables, connectors. Then what else? Something we missed out. We had speaker and we had the source. Now what else? Amplifier. स्पीकर चलाने के लिए तो मेरे को कुछ पावर देना है तो एम्पलीफायर will amplify and give the speaker. So my voice will be soft. Amplifier will pick up that 10 and make it 100, and then that will go to the speaker. So speaker should be 100, and then I'm just giving it numbers. I will tell you the units later on how it goes. Okay. So you understood. So we got the basic chain. Anything missing? We got now mic got connected to a mixer, mixer got connected to an amplifier, amplifier got connected to a speaker, all connected with the cables. Okay. हो गया मेरा सर्किट बराबर हो गया. क्या मिसिंग है? Power, okay. Power is also important. Connected with the power. And making sound with the speaker, and if there is nobody to listen to it, then it doesn't make sense, right? Audience. So you need someone. So you require an audience. You need someone who can hear better. So that is again as a dummy or unused domain. And before signal, if I have a microphone, then I need someone to speak into the microphone. Correct? So the whole chain is someone who speaks, that is source. If I am not speaking, if I am giving a DVD player or something, then that becomes the source. Otherwise, if I am speaking, so the speaker, microphone, cable, mixer, processor, amplifier, speaker, and the person who listens to it. Okay, so this is the cycle, say chain of the audio. So hearing and sound will require all these things. So we'll go very fast with the theory. Okay, I don't want any theory because you will feel bored over here. And I think, I don't know if you are very comfortable in the rear sitting. Normally classroom has got little bench and only we can rest. So here it's going to be a little difficult. So we have sound waves. Chair can sit down properly, nicely. You can also relax. Get out of chair. Okay. So we have topics covered will be sound wave, octaves and bands, harmonics and complex waveforms. Anything triggering to you from these what you all learned in essentials? Did you all get any of these big names in your essentials?
Yes.
Yeah. And you all understood when you all read the explanations of each of these. What is it? Of the topics, logarithms, logarithmic, you all know, correct? Log, you all have done in maths and all that. Decibels, somebody's name it is, decibel. Jim, bells. And inverse square law and sound. Okay, so these are all the topics that we will just go through. So what is sound wave? So first thing is hearing. I'll play you one video later on how the how the ear functions really. So we will get a little more on that part. So you have mechanical vibrations that are coming into it. There is something called eardrum, which is inside your ear, and then you have a middle ear. Okay, now these are more of a biology and all that. We learned it when we were in school. We won't go too deep into it. Only thing you understand that this is the construction of the human ear. Okay, auditory nerve, sound waves. So auditory nerves will only pick up. When I show you the video, you will understand it very clearly. So I will play that later. I keep jumping in from something called eardrum. That day, I think last time when I gave you a presentation, I spoke to you about the microphone, tapping the mic and all that. How you speak into the microphone. Did I? I think I did that. No, you should not tap. You tap the mic. How you check the mics? Well, tap and do. Okay. Okay. Now, okay, nice one. Now this is a ear. Okay. There is a eardrum inside your ear. What does the mic do? Is picking up a sound. What does the eardrum do? Picking up the sound. Is it same? Mic is microphone. When I speak, the microphone is picking up a sound, correct? So it's like a eardrum for the microphone. It will pick up a sound, it will give some signal, and it will go to the auditory nerve. So here it will go to a signal, it will go to the mixer, or a processor, or a pre-amplifier, or whatever it is there inside the microphone. So is it the similar thing, mic and the eardrum? Exactly?
Yes.
Okay? In school you all have learned the eardrum is a very thin membrane. That's why they say no, don't put pencil and pen refills and whatever people like to put sticks and all inside in the ear. It's wrong because if you puncture it, it's gone. Then you will be only one side directed. So you don't need to so you have got to be very careful. So as fine membrane of the eardrum picks up the vibrations of the surrounding. Same, the microphone diaphragm, we call it a diaphragm, is a membrane, very thin membrane. I don't know if I can open it, it's a new one. But if you open a microphone, you will get a very thin membrane. So when you speak, that membrane vibrates, which is connected to two wires and a magnet. So as it vibrates, it creates an electrical signal, and that signal is given out as a conversion, or it becomes a transducer. So your signal, audio sound is converting into electrical signal. Okay, so same here. So now, how do I know mic is tested? You do it this way. How do I know my ear is working or not working? You tap your ears, you never tap your ears. Okay, because you just try it, you will start ringing inside, and you will damage it. The same way, if you do this way on your microphone, you are definitely going to damage your microphone, and little while you will sound like this. 4-5 times you do it, and then after that, because it is tone, then you will sound, all the sound will come like nasal. You will not hear it clear. So you may have a good voice, but you will always sound nasal afterwards. So this device is very, very important to give you good quality sound. You may have a best of speakers, best of amplifiers, best of wiring, everything. But if your mic is damaged, then you will get everything the same. The quality will damage. So please understand, do not tap your microphones. First lesson. So I am telling you because you have to teach your clients when you go on the site. So clients will damage and they blame you. They will blame you that you all are damaged, you all are given kharab maal diya hai, mics barabar nahi hai, and all that thing. So you have to do that. So the best way to check a microphone is speak into the microphone and confirm it is working. Hello, check, test, which is normally done. Okay. Or you can just make one sound. Suppose there is full crowd, audience is sitting and come hello, check, then all will go. To avoid that, you can just make a sound. So you only want to know whether the mic is on, the system is on. So that speaker will make tick tick tick. So they will think somebody went and switched on the buttons and all that. So they will not get distracted. People won't get distracted, especially if they are studying, exam is happening or prayer is happening and all that. To avoid that, you just make a small sound to know that the system is working because you are doing a test, not done. Okay. So this is how you would probably test the system. Never ever tap on the mic. Yeah. So you have. So sound waves are created. This is a tuning fork, which we say. It is having. We won't go too much deep into it, but it's something that will always. It will just vibrate, ring. So now, as there is dense particles in the air, we can't see. Okay, most of the time we can't see, but we breathe all this rubbish that is there. It will create vibrations, and that's how you will start hearing. If it is a vacuum, will be here. Will sound travel in the vacuum. There has to be a media to travel. Okay, we have speakers installed in the water, underwater, and if you are swimming, you can hear the sound waves of the vibrations of the because there is a media. So when the speaker is vibrating, the water vibrates, and then if you hear it, you will also get that whatever sound is playing, music is playing. Normally in many five-star hotels and all, they play, this whale and all these kind of background musics and all are played underwater. So when you're swimming underwater, you can hear music also. You're paying for it, so you get more. It's a five-star hotels. Anatomy of a wave. So I think this all you have learned, correct? What is it? What are the three things that are very important in a wave? In the signal, frequency, wavelength, amplitude. What is amplitude? Strength of the signal. How much of signal is there? If the signal is less, amplitude will be small. If the signal is loud, the amplitude will become louder. Okay. So amplitude, wavelength, single cycle. How much time it takes one cycle? Okay, or the distance is required to get a wavelength. You understand? And frequency is in 1 second. How many number of cycles happen in 1 second? In 1 second, high frequency. So high frequency will be more or less cycles. High frequency will be more or less. High frequency, high. More. So this one will be very high frequency. You can see here it is written as 20 hertz, and 20 kilohertz will be very fine. You will not be able to see it only. Okay? So that way. So higher the frequency. Now there is a correlation between wavelength and frequency. If my wavelength increases, my frequency will decrease. And if my wavelength reduces, obviously now as you can see the wavelength for the high frequency will be very very less, correct? And for the low frequency, it takes more time for the signal. See how it is. So I won't go too deep into it. If you have a question, we will take all of that question. It is going at the same frequency, and this is how it is. So there is a complete frequency increases, wavelength decreases. So that becomes inverse, right? Inverse. So now we have original wave, we have greater frequency. As we increase the frequency, the number of the wavelength will reduce. Longer wavelength, lesser frequency. Smaller amplitude is the height. Amplitude is nothing but how much of volume. If I increase the volume, how much of structure I am allowing the sound to increase. Okay. So every waveform, if it is less, it is small. If it is more higher, then my sound volume is higher. So amplitude is correlated with the. Okay. Now what is octaves and bands? You all have done this octaves and bands. Anybody is in music? Anybody plays any instruments or not? Keyboard, guitar, no. So then you would have probably immediately say, I know octave, octave. So we have here, we have already put on a musical scale, the different octaves for how you can scale. We won't go too deep, we can read notes on that. And there is harmonics. Harmonics is actually doubling of a particular frequency. So if I say fundamental frequency is 250 Hz, then the second harmonic will be double that. Third harmonic will be 3 times, and then fourth harmonic will be 4 times. Okay, harmonic is nothing but like an echo, that is, but it will be, the frequency will change. We have some practice problems. So when you go to logarithm, or you wanted to take a start, I think I can give you printouts afterwards. Okay, so logarithm of a number, how many times, what is log? Log of what? What is logarithmic scale? It's a ratio, correct? Logarithmic, you know, ratio of how into 10 times or whatever. Logarithmic scale make ratio and larger numbers easier to express. So if I have a very big number, then I just say 10 times 10, 10 log 10 or 10. In our industry, in our thing, I will explain to you. If I have a volume control and I am just going to increase, like how we have a fan control 1, 2, so the voltage will be just double. Therefore 3 will just go 3 times, so then the speed will become more. So more the voltage, the rotation will increase, right? But in volume it is not like that. For volume there is a logarithmic scale that is followed. So when I increase even with 1 point, it is directly increased in a logarithmic scale. It doesn't go 1 to 2, it goes 1 to 10. Okay, so it is always in the logarithmic scale. When we are doing some practicals, that time you will probably understand what I am saying. That's some question answer session. We'll do the question later, probably. When you have more understanding on the subject. Then there is something called decibels. Again, decibel is the unit for. Decibel is the unit for what? You learned it. Sound, yes, sound pressure. Decibel is also unit for in voltage, checking the voltages of the thing and distance. Okay, but then the calculations are all different. Different log calculations are there for voltage, distance, and sound pressure. So voltage, distance, sound pressure as they relate to power. So it is the it will be always 10, 100, 1000 to go to that scale, and when it comes on the lower side, we have problems. Now here for equations of decimal, right? You can take this down. Huh? This is important because you will need to, when you do some kind of calculations or planning and all that, if you know all these things, it makes sense for you to prepare it. So when you have power, only when you have power calculations, then it will be 10 log. Only power will be 10 log. But if it is have voltage calculations, it will be 20 log and distance will be 20 log. Okay, this is the standard formulas for. I don't want to go deep into the theoretical part of it. We'll just, if you understand, remember this thing, when you are doing some calculations, you will know these are important also when we are doing the CTS exam. You want to apply for CTS exam, and these are some of the very important questions that we. That's okay. Now, something to understand which we want to know is what is the strength of a signal, okay, in wattage. Suppose I say dBW, 1 watt. The units, if it is dBW, anytime, any specification sheet you have, right, carry, but we'll go through some outline and I'll show you. It is 1 watt. Okay. When it is dBm, it's 1000.001. Okay. And if it is in volts, again it is 1 watt, 1 volt. dBu is 0.775 volts. And for sound pressure level, SPL, okay, SPL is sound pressure level, it will be 0.00002 pascals. Sound pressure is under its pressure, so pascals is the unit. Here very important question. 1 decibel change. Suppose now I say I have 5 dB, okay, and I am going to change it only 1 decibel. So I make it 6 dB of sound. I am increasing my level of sound to 6 dB. So smallest possible change, if human ear cannot tell, okay, we will not be able to understand there is a change in the level. So I am increasing it. So when I increase just 1 dB, you won't know. We will do it when we are doing it in the processor. When it goes to 3 dB change, you will notice it. You will notice something has changed. It has become a little better or a little louder or some change. 10 dB is either twice as loud or half as loud. It is up or down. So it's like that. Okay. So if you are increasing 10 dB or reducing by 10 dB, you will get it twice the sound of the voice. Inverse square law and sound pressure is reduced by 6 dB every time the distance from the source is doubled. So now we will correlate. I think it's going a bit too bouncer with mathematical problems for you all. We'll correlate it when we are doing, we'll do practicals then. Okay, we'll take a small little break and we'll do practicals, and then we will again go back to some more parts of the lesson. So you'll understand what I was trying to tell you in the thing. I'll explain to you. I'll just walk you through this, and again we'll come back and then you'll have questions to ask me. Okay. We'll do all this workbook entries later. Do all this thing that we are doing for it. So we'll take a small break here, and I'll start talking to you on the types of speakers that we have here. Okay, now we all went through all the things around here, correct? So what is this unit over here? You must have seen this before also. Okay, come here, or if you all are okay, you can see from that far, I'm fine. Have you connected everything? Well, it's not connected, it's not power. The extension was there. See, now here you put it on, all the things came as red color, and then it started going as searching. Okay, this is a computer or a processor. So this, to start up this, it's like a computer takes time to come run the cycle. Until it comes all green, we are not ready to use it. Okay, so this takes time. Now it has come all green, so that means I'm able to use this processor. Now we are just doing a physical inventory of what we have here. What is this? You have seen this before in time classrooms mein dekha rahega. Speaker, ceiling. This is not ceiling speaker. This is wall speaker. Okay, this has got a bracket, so it will go on the wall. So these are wall speakers. Okay, what is this one? This is also a speaker. Yeah, if you see it, this is not the TV, not a sound bar, but this is called a column array speakers. You can see inside what is there. Okay, there are speakers inside. So these are small, tiny speakers arranged in a array. Array is one over the other. When we arrange one over the other, it is called an array. Or since it is coming in one box, we call it as a column array. If you have seen shows, rock shows and all that thing, outside the stage they have speakers hanging like that. They will one speaker, then they'll hang another speaker, then they have, so then it becomes like a J type of it. Okay, So the concept is for that I'm able to throw sound long distance and able to capture the first person sitting and the furthest person, or rather at least to certain level before the sound drops. Okay, so these speakers will go more directed towards back, and these speakers will be more directed towards front side. There's a physics to the whole way of connecting these, the way the speakers are connected. That's why I brought the speaker. This speaker you will have sound goes all over like this. We go in all directions. There's a what say it's around the place is in circle. Now this one it will go wider and it won't go on the top, but will start beaming downwards. Okay, so this is the better way where there is acoustics problem. What is acoustics? We have a topic in acoustics. What is acoustics? Anybody well heard this name before? Word before? Acoustics?
Sound कैसे behave करता है different places
तो कैसा कहाँ पे सुना है ऐसा?
like echo sound
हाँ, echo sound. Okay, that is good. Like some places you go or गूंजते रहते हैं, like more of, like in this place of worship, like in churches, mosques and all that. You speak hello, hello. No, it sounds like as if it takes time for the sound to return or clarity to come. So those kind of places, putting a sound system will make it more, what is say, vibrant or more live. You know, it becomes very difficult to speak in such kind of environment, acoustically troubled areas or very high reverberation areas. So how acoustics is caused, we will do one small slide on that also. So these speakers work, since it is going in all direction, it will hit, sound will hit and then it will come back, sound will hit and come back. So that delay, that's how you start hearing sound a little later. You hear it first shot and then also you hear it again coming back, like an echo or a reverberation or a time. You know? So it's returning back in some time. These speakers will give you straight. So if I am targeting the speaker for the person in front, that will give you get correct time. Same time the speaker is targeted for the person at the back, you get at the same time. This speaker will not reach for the back person. So you won't get that effect of rebound and all that kind of. So you get more sharper, clear sound coming from a speaker like this rather than from a full range speakers like this. Okay. We'll do a demo, we'll check it out how it is. So these are two types of speakers I have brought in. Somebody said ceiling speakers. Probably must have seen in the firefighting, they put it in the false. Mostly ceiling speakers will have a firefighting, this false ceiling, so the mounting will be cut out and then you have to fix it up and up. I have it, and check if I have in the car one. Otherwise tomorrow I will bring one sample and show you. Okay. So mounting of that is there. So these are types of speakers that are. Somebody said sound bar that time. Okay. So sound bar has the similar setup of the way it is arranged here, but it is not installed vertically, it is installed horizontally. So horizontally means it will go wider and very located or focused. Because it is used, more soundbars are used at residence or homes for music with the TV. It has got a very, it give you a kind of a surround effect. It may have a processor inside. Active devices will have a processor inside. When I say processor means what? If I get one input, I can make it into multiple, like surround effect or some kind of an effect and all that. So that processor, this is also a processor. So when we put it on, I'll show you how it works on the processor. Okay? So we can have that sound bar. What other things you use in the house? Rotators, relatives. I don't know how many of you listen to music. You have only a stereo system. You heard of something called stereo system? You heard of something called mono system and stereo system? Mono and stereo. What is mono and stereo? आप headphones use करते हैं? Everybody is using headphones, I'm very sure. When you use headphones and how you like the sound? Something comes like, it runs from one ear to another ear, correct? That effect. Or it feels like it is like above your head, something is like, so you don't realize that you have put your receivers, your speakers inside on the ear. You feel like it is coming in your brain or on top it is coming. The sound seems to come above your head. So that is an effect created by giving you left and right setup. Human ears we have only two, correct? Anybody got more than that? So we have only 2 ears, so we listen to sound brain processes whatever comes with this and then takes it as a common for us to see. So sometimes we get effect. Now there was something that went. I felt that it went from here and it went past this side. So I heard it at two different timings. So my processor showed something passed from this side to this side. My brain processes it. So that's how we get a stereo effect. So when I say hello, hello, so it comes in two different sounds. So if it is recorded in stereo, it will sound you in stereo. But if it is recorded in mono, mono means just one single output डाल देना. Suppose now I got one speaker here, one speaker in that room. Can you hear it as stereo? No, because in this room there's only one speaker. The people there also will hear it in the same sound. So I'm just giving like a making announcement. Then I don't need a stereo effect because it will go only mono to everybody. And just to understand evacuation, announcement, whatever it is. So I'm not interested that effects are not. But when I'm home theater segment, I want that effect and I want that. Okay. So that's how it is. We did this. We did ceiling speakers, home segment output speakers. Ceiling speakers. Then you have shows that are happening outdoor. Okay. Anybody have heard? Yeah. Then tell me if
You know that big one speaker.
Yeah, you have those.
DJ party right now.
DJ is outdoor. So then more for the outdoor is different domain type of speakers. So indoor speakers we have selected. So you have to select the right speaker for the right area. You will, if you open a catalog, you will see so many types of speakers. But then which speakers to be used for what purpose, where, what is the application, you have to understand that and then use. Okay. Then there are, anybody heard of subwoofer? Subwoofer सुना है? घर में यूज होता है. ये टीवी आपका लैपटॉप एक पीसी के साथ छोटा स्पीकर आते हैं और एक बड़ा स्पीकर आता है. सुना है? Two small satellite subs आता है बोलते हैं. So when you have at home, what is a subwoofer does? Subwoofer will only process the low frequencies. So what is the low frequency sound? Anybody can mimic the low frequency sound? Low frequency बोले तो क्या होता है? This is low frequency, okay? So when you're walking and there's a bus, you close your eyes and the bus is passing you. You will not know whether the bus is passing from this side or from this side because you don't have a direction like that. Low frequency is only direction. That's why now these speakers always you'll see they kept front sitting over there, then it will be facing yours. Like sound has to come because my ears are in this position, so I will prefer to hear the sound in this direction. But subwoofer, I don't have to hang it over here, I don't have to keep it in front, I can keep it in the corner over there, I can keep it under the table because the sound is only. So you don't know from where the sound is coming. And you will always feel when you're looking at this, you think those notes are coming from here. So the bass. So what you're talking about outdoor sound and all the DJs and all are playing, that one big box is there, and then above that they put the mid tops which they use. So that is the way actual remaining frequency which we hear comes from that, and the subwoofer will only give a sound. Only the low frequency, that's power. So if you have seen a three-way speaker, घर में रहता है ना, ऐसा टावर स्पीकर्स रहता है, उसमें 3 स्पीकर्स रहते हैं. What a marker we have right for you. Okay, that's okay. So what I'll explain from this one. Suppose you have a 3-way speaker as a column speaker. If you have seen it, there is one speaker that is big. I think in this it will be here. Like that, there will be one big speaker, then there will be one small speaker, and a middle speaker. So when you say 2-way, there will be only 2 speakers, the tweeter and a woofer. If it is 3-way, it is tweeter, mid-range, and a woofer. Okay. So woofer is what? Low frequency. If I disconnect woofer, you will not get the bass. The bass will not be there. Okay. And if I increase the bass, then it will be very bassy sound. Like that. You get that. And for a tweeter, will be very sharp voice. Very sharp voice. No? It goes long distance. So sharp voice. So when I'm sitting to listen to music and my speakers installed there, I don't enjoy it. It has to be ear level. So it comes straight to you. So you'll enjoy the music better. So many professional setups with theaters and all will have the speakers just on the side of side of the display, or maybe just below that also. It's okay. Center channel and all that. So, and the mid range we give you all the speech, all our normal voice, all the gentle voice is coming in the mid range. Okay. So three-way speaker is the big, the medium, and the small tweeter. Very small little tweeter will be there. So now if I say I got a three-way speaker, 100-watt speaker, how much of power distribution in the three speakers happen? Who takes the most power? The bigger fellow will take more power, correct? The subwoofer will take more power. So if it is 100 watts, almost 80% of the power goes to the big speaker. So if your subwoofer is needing, it needs more power. Mid-range needs middle, say around 10 to 15 watts the mid-range will take, and 4 to 5 watts the tweeter will take. Tweeter is just a small speaker. It just gives you the high frequency. So all your symbols, S and all that sound that comes will come from a tweeter. The actual speech will be in the mid-range. So mid-range is very important for speech oriented. If you are looking general music, then you need all the three spectrum of sound. Okay. So this is a part of the sound domain. I'm talking of how in home theater segment. When I said home theater, it can even be in an auditorium. If you are setting up an auditorium, setting an office. Now if I'm doing an auditorium in school, most of the time you are going to use the speech, correct? Not party. You may have a cultural program, but most of the time, 80-90% is speech. Place of worship is also speech. 90-95% is speech. They don't sing, they don't have musical much and all. So we need clarity in speech. So where I will control, I don't give the low frequency because low frequency can mumble, and the high frequency can give you very symbols, so that second word is lost when you're speaking. So I want the middle frequency, the mid voice to be clear. So we'll do one tuning and I'll show you again there. I'm just explaining first, then we'll go, then you all can also do the practical because I kept one laptop separate here during lunch. The only thing, don't fiddle too much with the system and damage the speaker, but we'll just explain how this will be done. Okay? Amplifier. What does the amplifier does? By the name amplifier is amplifier. You give input, if I give 1 volt, I can get 10 volts out. So it's like that. So whatever low input, it will amplify to the person. So whatever power rating. So there are different amplifiers which are very powerful. So when you say more powerful, it needs power from somewhere. Okay, so the power supply has to be perfect to give you that much of an output to give a bigger speaker. Suppose I say this amplifier can drive up to 300 watts and this is say 50 watts. I can use it on that. So I don't increase the volume too much that it doesn't burn. But up to 300 watt speaker also, if I had this was a 300 watt speaker, I can connect on it and work perfectly. When I use a 700, 800 watt speaker and I want to bajaw it with that amplifier, that will become very hot. He doesn't have the bias like a Maruti car. You are allowed to sit only 3+1 or 4+1, and you are sitting 10 people inside a Maruti car. So Maruti, and all the cycle colors are going faster than the Maruti. So you can't overload your vehicle. So this is the driver. Basically, amplifier is driving the driver. It needs power, it needs space, it needs energy. So if you give it within its range, perfectly it will work. It will not, 8-10 years also you never damage. But if you overdrive it, you just touch it after 10 minutes and it will become hot. So heat dissipation. So all these things you have to take care when you are doing the design and all that part of it. So this is how it works. Okay. I don't know if you all were there in the design. There was amplifiers are of two types. Anyway, pre-amplifier is okay. Yes. What is the pre-amplifier doing and what is the power amplifier? Then you said it. So try it. What is it? Pre and power. Just now I said power. I talked about power now. It has to give something, so it requires input also should be strong, or the energy, the power supply has to be very strong. So power amplifier is like when I'm driving a speaker. So what is pre-amplifier? I had spoken when I was talking about a microphone. I said something you have to amplify the mic signal, which is very, very small. So that is pre-amplifier. So in the microphone, in this kind of microphone, you see, these mics are gooseneck microphones. Okay, you use it on the podium. Okay, now they have made something over here. Inside this there is a circuit. Okay, inside this there is a circuit. That is because when I speak in this, the signal is very small, very small. Hardly not, it's in micro millivolts, very small. That has if you take it and my mixer is lying over there, if I connect a wire from here to there, that so small signal it will never reach only over there. Because by the time it will go, because of resistance of the cable, there it will come as a distorted sound and your sound will become distorted, you will get noise. So what it has to do, before it goes out, this will amplify that small signal into certain level. So it will pre-amplify. Because my amplifier needs some input. No, he says कुछ आया समझ में नहीं आया, दाना रख दिया है ना, I didn't know only I ate food. You know, I need a morsel of food to eat, so I feel पेट भर गया. But if I just take one बड़ी shape and I put my पेट भर गया नहीं. So I need something of volume to drive the amplifier. So for that, this will get this very thin signal that is coming in. The pre-amplifier will amplify, and it will give the decent signal to that. It won't make it, you can't connect it to the speaker because it's just a small signal made little better, but that will take that better and make it proper. Okay? Understood? So pre-amplifier thing you understood? So pre-amplifier, amplifier. Then I also wanted to understand, you all have heard of amplifiers. There are two types of amplifiers in connections. There is anything you want to suggest?
One amplifier on DSP is there. When mic is mic sammo बोलेंगे तो DSP की जरूरत पड़ता है.
वो DSP ये DSP हो गया. That is processor हो गया. अच्छा, amplifier में you have a low voltage amplifier and low impedance, high impedance amplifier. Okay, what is low impedance, high impedance amplifier? That is if I am connecting a chain of speakers. Like for example, I am doing a paging system in the college. I put speakers in all over the place. Then every speaker, I give you on a transformer couple. So these are transformer coupled. So I transfer the sound on a voltage line. So there is a voltage amplifiers and there is a low impedance amplifier. Low impedance is 8 ohms, 4 ohms. You must have heard of this? No? We will do nothing. Open this. The brand new piece I brought to show you. Petty pack opening. Can you just open this one? Just keep the packing up because of this. Okay, so that is I'll show you what is low impedance and high impedance. And what are the other type of microphones that are there? Here we have one microphone. What is this microphone? Handheld microphone is called as dynamic microphones. Okay, dynamic microphones. So, show you. I don't think we'll be able to see the. So there is a diaphragm inside this. Now I can't open this because it's a brand new piece. I had one old one. So inside this, so this will filter all your, what is it? We call it as breath filters. This fine, you know. And then inside this there is a coil and a diaphragm right on the border, very thin. It's like a membrane, very thin membrane. So when you speak, that membrane vibrates, and that is connected to two thin wires that will go into the coil. So the whole coil will shift in the magnet, and then that's how a sound signal is generated. Signal comes out and it goes to the preamplifier, and preamplifier will. Now this one will not have a preamplifier because this is a cardioid mic. Okay, so these are dynamic mics. So dynamic mics don't need this thing. Don't need power. So this mic to come on, I need power. So when I connect, I'll show you that also. So this is one of the type of mic. What is this lying here? Something like an aircraft like thing, UFO. What is it? What microphone? You seen this anywhere? This is also a microphone. This is a boundary microphone. They keep it on the table, so you don't need this gooseneck to come up and all that. You keep it on the table, flat surface, and you speak, and this is connected to the system. So you have wireless type mode and wired mode source. Okay, there is one here, and there is another model like this which is here. Okay, now these have preamplifier inside. both these will have a preamplifier. So we have to give, to run the preamplifier, either put a battery or we require an external power to give to that. So that is called phantom power, which we will give. One analog mixer is given from yours. I think it is kept in the stores. Just ask me somebody. Where is this? I think these microphones are used in conference boardrooms where the direct, because this microphone will be available for 1,000 rupees. This will be available for 25,000 rupees, 30,000, 20,000 rupees. So these are expensive. Who will be afforded? Directors, company board members. So normally they install in boardrooms where they don't want the mic coming out the table and they speak. No, so they use it in the other. So we use them for very high-end podium. You don't want the mic to come here and the photograph is coming and the mic is right in the middle like that. It's dikta nahi hai. So that is kept there and you can speak it. But because it is lower, my distance from the mouth to the mic is long. The more the distance, the more I have to open up a gain structure for it. And I will explain what is gain structure. So then it becomes difficult to maintain. There are too many mics in the room. Okay. Yeah. And what are these wires here? What wire are these? You have seen any of these kind of wires before? Colored, golden, nice ones. Pass it around and see what it is. Okay. If you want to see, these are two 4 speaker wires. Okay, this is a microphone cable. This you all must have seen because you must be using these, right? The college mics and all that. So this is the microphone cable. And then you have, if you see in the microphone cable, there are how many terminals are there? How many connect cables are coming out of that? 3. That is 2 plus ground. Okay, so 2-port shield we call it. This is only 2-port, left and right. That is positive, negative. And if you look closely, you can see closely in this, no? And one side of the wire, no, you'll see minus, minus, minus. Just see if you can see it. I have to wear my specs to see that. Get my specs. Yeah, you can see minus, minus, minus. So that is negative. So you always connect the minus. So polarity is very, very important. Now I'll explain to you why you have to have polarity in your speakers. Okay. Now if I'm having in one room, I'm having 2 speakers. Okay. Now one speaker is connected positive, negative, and the other one is connected negative, positive by mistake. Somebody did a mistake and they connected. So when I'm giving a signal from the amplifier, both of them are getting the same signal. So both, suppose it was positive, positive, then it would, both the speakers would fire like this, correct? Then the sound will come clear. Now what is happening? Somebody connected this the other way around. So when it is positive, this is going back. So this is coming like this, right? So this is firing and this is absorbing. This is firing and this is absorbing. So sometimes certain frequencies, no, you will not hear. It gets cancelled. This is called cancellation. So sometimes itna volume bada raha hai, sound nahi aa raha hai. So this is one very common connection problems that are there. People don't realize that they made mistake. Here at the speaker they connected correctly, but amplifier they connected well. So it's the same. So you have to be very careful connecting wires properly. This kind of problems happen where when we have 2 engineers working on the same side. One fellow is fixing the speaker and one fellow is fixing the amplifier here. So amplifier is this side, that person was climbing and fixed the wire, by positive, negative. But this fellow doesn't know positive, negative kya hai, wo dikhta nahi hai, bole so he put a wire. So we have, if the same engineer had to come here, he is following, he knows what is put there, he'll come here and he'll check and he'll put it properly. But some other engineer is doing, he will do has his way, he will do his way. Maybe that fellow also will, because he climbing, good difficult, so he doesn't know whether he's put it correctly. I'm just giving example of a speaker. So what happens is, there is no sync between the 2 of them. Here you need to follow standardization. Okay, as a team, all of them have to follow one rule. If I'm doing A, then I have to follow A. If I'm doing B, everybody has to follow B. That is how a team works as a plan. I am not alone, one man show or one person show on the site. It's a teamwork on a site. So for example, I'm installing a speaker.
Color code is there.
Color code is there. So what is the color code we're using?
Different red and black. Second thing, उसमें दो ही कलर था रेड एंड ब्लैक ये.
हाँ. इसमें तो हाँ most of the time इसमें negative positive लिखा है.
तो आगे भी चलिए पुराना तो आपको मैं बताऊँ. जिस आप स्पीकर में रेड दिया उधर सेम दे रहे सेम में तो वो शॉर्ट.
So everyone has to follow certain. So before you all start installing, suppose आप लोग का team है, now I said okay we are doing it. Another way, suppose now here there are only two red and black, it is easy to remember. Now I don't know if there is
looping speaker is there. Basically the speaker है, पांच looping है, पांच looping है. उसी potentially कौन सा speaker कौन सा cable में looping हुआ है. और continuous register से वो चीज़.
then वो plan में drawing में करके देखना पड़ेगा. Okay. So everything has to be decided. Now ऐसा आया, अरे चल साइड पे जाते हैं. एक जन इधर फिक्स किया, एक उधर किया. बाद में प्रोजेक्ट में इधर कौन स्पीकर डाला है? Both the speakers are supposed to be there. So it is not planned. So you have to sit and plan as a team. Ki the location, wiring, it is done, or somebody else has done. Maybe the speaker was supposed to be for firefighting, and audio speaker supposed to be on the left and right over here. But you thought, wire देखा, उधर connection किया. And there the firefighting fellow also, his speaker is working differently, my speaker is working differently. So you have to, there is something called planning, coordination, teamwork. Teamwork is very, very important. Now in this there are only two cables, or rather 2 plus ground. So ground is easy to know. If you have opened your old VGA cable, you see old VGA cables, before HDMI you are having that another connector, no 16 pin connector. Cat 6 cables you have opened, Cat 6 cables कितना है? 8 पेयर आता है, तो बोले तो 4 pairs आता है, इसमें 4 वाला आता है, then there are others different. So 4 pair में 8 cables are there. So every cable has got a different color. Okay. Now I'll say, oh I got 8 cables, so I'll just connect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. जैसा आया वैसा मैं connect किया, इधर आया मैं. Somebody else is doing, oh भी आया 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you put red, here you put green, here you put blue, here you put orange. So you are putting different. So you must follow code. So you have learned that shortcut for understanding resistor color code. What is that? What is that? B. Roy. Great Britain, very good wife. So that is a shortcut to remember. So that everybody knows because we are all engineers. So if we know, then B Roy. So when I get all the colors, I say B black, brown, red. Orange, white, yellow. So I will follow the code over there. So the person giving here will see, ये black हो गया, ये 1, ये 2, ये 3, ये 4, ये 5. तो उसने उधर कोड के हिसाब से कनेक्ट किया, इधर कोड के हिसाब से कनेक्ट किया तो चालू होना ही चाहिए. So there is no chance of making mistakes. So if you all follow one pattern, one system, one symbol, then the installation की first time connect किया perfect हो गया. Otherwise 10 times you will climb here, you will understand there, खींचा wire under amplifier में से boost किया. Very difficult to do it. So if you do it professional, in 10 minutes you are finished, you can go home that way. Not for you today. You are at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, huh? No? 4 o'clock. Okay, I'm just writing you. Don't worry. You can at 4. If you are finished and you have understood what it is. But I hope you all are understanding the theoretical or practical perspective of installation. Okay, so what is speakers and what is that? So following standards of connectivity and all these things are important. Power connections 230 volts, then you have to check it out at 230 volts. American products have 110. So you have, if at all you are importing any equipments and it has not come to an Indian standard, then you need a step down or step up transformer. What do you need? My amplifier is 110 volts and mine is 230. So what I need? Step down, correct? So I will connect at 230, but the output will be 110, and then I connect at 110 on that, and my amplifier will work. But if I take that 110 and I connect on 230, Diwali jaldi chal. So we need to be careful. These are mistakes, big mistakes, expensive mistakes for you and for your company. Some companies are very harsh. Damage किया, आपका salary से cut. ऐसा होता है नहीं होता है ना. Always a nice guy. Always doesn't do that. But some companies are very strict and they will cut from the person who made a mistake. If it is a stupid mistake, just telling you, but it is in general, you have to be careful. Don't damage it because it is your responsibility. As a project team, project management, everybody right from top till the lowest person, helper, also becomes a this. Okay? So never ever feel shy, even if you are an helper to start with. Don't feel shy. I started my career in electronics. I was working for a TV shop, and that fellow was never teaching me. I was an engineer at that time. I gave me a cloth and said, "Dukan mein saaf safai karne ka." I said, "Okay." For almost 3 to 4 months, I was only dusting the tables and all that. But what I was doing is, to repair the TV, they used to have a mirror, and they used to repair the TV. They used to look in the mirror and repair the TV like this, because I can't come like that every now and then. Na repair होते हैं, light आते हैं. So it was mirror में देख के करता था. So while I used to sweep and all, मैं भी mirror में देख के हाँ ये इसने ये किया अच्छा तो बाद में जाके देखेगा फिर सर्किट चेक करेगा हाँ ये इसने ये किया. Because I knew it, but I was not allowed to touch it. And then slowly when I learned, I was doing it myself. And after, within 6 or 8 months, I was running a shop. He made me in charge to run his shop. For 3 years, I worked and I was handling everything in that as a service engineer. Full, right? Customer and to this. So you start, don't feel shy that because I was already getting a salary in my other company. I was doing this part time and I was getting very good salary. I'm talking of about now 40 years back. Okay, that time I was getting 5,000-6,000 then. So just imagine getting this and not getting paid and still I'm doing all that. But I learned, and that's why I became a company director at the end of the day. So if you work hard, it's never going wasted. So you need to really don't bother. Let the world tell anything. Hard work never gets wasted. Okay. So that is just a touch on the whole thing. So any questions on this? What we were talking just now? What else? Speaker, then amplifier I told you, or power connection I told you. Amplifier, now I told you there are 2 types of amplifiers. Okay. Now, okay, we'll just turn this around. Just keep it that side, this will fall. Okay, now front side, if you have seen, there is a display. There are 2 volume controls. Okay, this is one type of the amplifier. There are other amplifiers may not have in front controls. They will have at the back. Now, if you see at the back side, what all is there here? There is a power input. Okay, then what you can see here, somebody connected this over here. Okay, so we have, there are 2 terminals over here. What is written over here? Speaker connectors. Okay, so red is always positive, black is always negative. So we have one left channel, right channel. Then here we have 2 inputs. So if I give input, I will get an output, correct? So this is going to the speaker. This will be an input coming from any of the mixer or processor or something. Aap mixer leke aaye mila? Okay, good. So you have seen these kind of things? Have you seen this mixer anything?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a mixer. I'll just run you through what all happens in a mixer. You get scared when you see so many connectors, controls and all that? You get scared? Don't get scared. Nothing to worry. Okay? One more, sir. Okay, we can just connect on one first and start and see how it works. Now, I want you all to connect. Here now you can see there is this speaker has got terminals for connecting the speaker. And there is a knob over here. Okay? Now what is written on the knob? You all read and tell me. I can't see without specs. What is written?
1.0 watt, 3.7.
Okay. And in black, what is written?
This.
No, this black one. 1 watt.
1.0 watt, 3.75 watt.
Okay.
70 watt, 7.5 watt, 15 watt.
70 watt. No, 70. V है क्या W है?
V.
Voltage. So what is voltage is V. Okay. So 70 volts, देन
7.5
साइड
volt.
वाइट में 100 वोल्ट है, 70 वोल्ट 100 वोल्ट है। फिर ऊपर जो लिखा है 1.5 है और 3.7 है। ये 3.7 है, 7.5 है और ये 7.5 है, 15 वॉट्स है, 15 वॉट्स 30 वॉट्स है। अच्छा, तो दिस इज एंड इधर क्या लिखा है नंबर 8 ohms। तो दैट मीन्स दिस स्पीकर कैन वर्क इन 8 ohms also and it can work in 100 volts and 70 volts line. Okay, now I don't have the amplifier with a 100 volts line, so I will connect it on 8 ohms because this is the 8 ohms लिखा है यहाँ पे किधर लिखा रहेगा, it's a 8 ohm amplifier, somewhere it will be written, okay, because these are the low impedance amplifier. Okay, so now what we do is connect one speaker wire from here to this, any one channel. Yeah, give you the speaker. People put it underneath, nobody will step on it. I just give one bundle. Tester है क्या? Yes, sir. You have a tester? Okay, now I want someone of you to start. We'll do 2 people doing it. So we are working as a project team, right? Now, one of you take one end and the other one take the other side. One connect at the amplifier, one connect at the speaker. Okay, assuming that one is installing the speaker and connecting there, and one is installing the rack and connecting the rack. Okay, now here there is already a connector. So since this is not having a connector base, I need wire. So you just open the connector and keep it separate for me. Don't lose it, it's expensive. Then I'll teach you all about the type of connectors also. Yeah, somebody take this end, somebody take the other end. Connect on channel 1. Here we have something on channel
1.
This is channel 1, no?
Yes.
So channel 1, so connect on channel 1, left and right. So that is different. So I told you this is not working on this. It works on some other type of speaker. So remove the connector and give it here. You just show them, guide them how to do. Are you able to understand what I am saying properly? Bouncer नहीं जा रहा है ना? Because I am going to give a test now before you go home. We are going to set up a very high-end room theater. No, there is a minus on that. Tell them to,
Is there a minus one?
give them to do it. Just show them and let them do one. Somebody does the speaker, somebody does the amplifier. Take the screwdriver and do it. You do it. There you don't need the screwdriver.
Channel 1.
Okay, now, no, don't do it inside. Okay, now that I'll show you how to do. Now these are the connectors, okay, different type of connectors. This connector is you press it and you put the cable inside, okay. For example, like this. So I'll take it, I'll press it open, okay, and then push it, and then it has got a spring lock, it will lock, okay. But positive here, negative here. So this one is easy. Now this one, either you put like this, which is easy, but if I shake it, the wire will fall off every time. So this is just for testing, I can do it like that. But otherwise, this is called a binding post. So I have to open it up, and which is negative, which is positive?
This is negative.
Negative. So negative will go into negative like this, into this. But when you put it inside, it doesn't flare, okay? If the wires are coming, like for example, I just open, and I put it inside like this. See, all the half wires are come outside, correct?
Yes.
Then this wire and this wire will touch, it will get short. So I don't want it like that. So I have to nicely dress it up, twist it properly, okay, and then put it. Okay, I can just show them which one is this. Just see they're connecting it properly.
It's positive.
Sir,
Let them also do the other one. Huh? That one you connect on the speaker. No, one person is doing on the amplifier, one has to do on the speaker. Connect the speaker now.
sir, what is the name of this?
This is speaker cable, 2-core speaker cable. These are flat transparent ones, so because you can see it, there are, I'll show you another one type of cable which is flat but it is not seen, it's a white cable.
अभी ये निकलेगा नहीं क्योंकि ये फुल टाइट हो गया लॉक हो गया
Okay?
चैनल वन
So we are using channel 1.
रेड और ब्लैक दे रहे हो तो चैनल में ही देने का है। जैसे आपने वन चैनल में रेड दिया और चैनल 2 में ब्लैक दिया तो नहीं चलेगा स्पीकर आपका, क्योंकि चैनल 1 में आपको दोनों केबल देना पड़ेगा, सेम एज इट इज इधर भी।
Connected, eh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So speaker is connected, amplifier is connected, my input is connected, but where the input has gone? Input has gone to my processor.
DSP.
Now instead of doing the DSP, we will do one connection with this. Okay. So if I connect a microphone here, I will connect a mic and I'll take an output from here and then give it over there. So you have a phono to this thing. Any cables take here? Patch cable.
ये एक्सएलआर टू जैक है सर अपना एम्पलीफायर से।
ये XLR टू
जैक
ये XLR है,
बैक
ब्लैक नहीं नहीं ये XLR ये फिनिक्स है, ये वायर निकल फिनिक्स है ना, तो इसमें हम लोग को कौन सा कनेक्टर चाहिए? मेल वाला कनेक्टर चाहिए। Phono to ये चाहिए। Ah, you have one. No? बैग में देखते हैं, एक मिनट, 1 सेकंड। What is that green? Grey wire is what?
DSP
हाँ हाँ DSP निकाल उसका, उसको और इसको ज्वाइन करा देना सेम कनेक्टर में ना, ओपन करके एक फोनो जैक से कनेक्ट कर देना। उसको पैरेलल में कर देना। जस्ट टेक अ पैचिंग, कई पैच केबल मिल जाएगा और माइक्रोफोन के लिए See, now what I am doing is I have not brought patch, all the patches. So mostly I do the DSP, but I want to show you this one manual one first, so that you understand what I am doing is the manual. Okay. So we'll just you take the screwdriver. Somebody take this and connect me this one. Actually, we are supposed to solder it, but we are just doing a patch now. This is only for testing purpose. Don't do it on the side, huh? Like this. So now you make that and put it as parallel here. So red will go with red, white will go with white, and this thing. Remove the connector and keep it here. open it so it becomes easy to. Okay, all of you are understanding, right? So I'll give you in that blue bag, no, there is one square box is there. Just can you be careful of the camera? No? One square box is there down right at the bottom. Remove that box. Okay, now this is a gooseneck microphone, which I was telling you. These comes with all accessories separate. So this comes as a separate, as this is called a wind filter. So when you speak, your pop, pop, pop sound and all doesn't come, and also when you speak, sometimes a little spit and all comes and it will damage this. So this you can change. So this is easy to change. You can't change. You have to change the whole thing. It becomes expensive. So this is just as a click, it just goes inside. The cost of this small sponge, you know how much it is? I buy it for 850. 850 rupees is the cost of this sponge. So it's expensive, okay? Not easy. Chinese you get around 300, 250, 300. And then after 2 months you have to change. Till after 2 years you have to change. Open that box. Open that box. Move it out. हाँ निकल के ये अभी ओपन करके हाँ इसमें रेड में रेड मीन्स व्हाइट और रेड कर दे और ये ब्लैक विद व्हाइट कर देना और ये ग्राउंड कर देना। इसको टेस्टर बोलते हैं इलेक्ट्रिकल में. यू कैन कंफर्म टू फाइंड आउट देयर इज सो देयर इज अ रेजिस्टर इनसाइड एंड light means it's a small little what do you say? So when you touch it, no, your body acts as a continuity to the ground. So that's where circuit happens. That's where the light will glow. Okay, but because of the resistor, you don't get shock. Okay, the resistor will increase the resistance of your body. You get shocked because your body resistance is minimum. So current flows faster and then you'll get that. But if it is with high resistance, then if you're wearing shoes with rubber and sole and all that, then you won't get a shock. Okay. Connect this on that. Turn it. If it is not fitting, it will go in one position only. And one click sound has to come. It is fit properly. It's not fit, I think. Press it. I don't think breakfast नहीं हुआ. निकल बाहर आ जाएगा. Ready है ना? Okay. Now I'll give you one more cable, but she's doing. Keep it there on the cable, on this mic. Amplifier के ऊपर रख दे चलेगा. Because you'll have to use it to speak, ना? लगा है मेरे को लंच टाइम हो गया. Don't work under pressure. Don't ever work under pressure. Take your time. Your health is more important. Done? Can I check? But where is the other one? Why you don't? You have to put both together. I said both together. So white will go with this white. This white and black will go together. Okay, remove it out. Open it. I'll show you. An easier way is I'm putting parallel because what happened? One side this connector is there, which I need, and the other side is the other connector which I need. So I'm not using the processor right now. We'll reverse it afterwards for the processor. We'll do little practicals so you understand. Huh? Theory, if you go too much inside into theory. Theory, after you know little of practicals, then it is good to do that.
गलत है गलत है।
ये नहीं, सॉरी, ये जो रेड है ना, ये इसके साथ, ठीक है, ये ब्लैक और ये व्हाइट है ना, ये इसके साथ कर देना। और ग्राउंड शील्डिंग बोलते हैं उसको। तो उसको मैं आपको एक वायर ओपन करके आपको दिखाएंगे अंदर क्या है, कैसा है। Very difficult and wanting to teach a lot, but at least the basics I will show you on how a system works. Okay? So you can go home and connect your system remotely and charge momentarily. चलेगा वो, अगर वो पेयर बराबर है तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। वो अभी खाली जॉइंट के लिए कर रहे हैं ना हम लोग। ग्राउंड में एक साथ में आ जाना चाहिए।
नहीं हो रहा तो उसको कट करके थोड़ा ऐसा लंबा करके बाद में कट करो तो अंदर शॉर्ट
Okay, so now what we are going to teach you here is I'm making a connection. I'll connect one microphone and I was telling you different frequency, low frequency, high frequency, mid frequency, how it changes in the sound. We'll connect it to the speaker. Now we'll turn the speaker. Now I don't want to hear the speaker backwards. So we'll face the speaker facing you and we'll see how it sounds. Okay? Correct? Okay, now if you see in the microphones will always have one type of connector. Okay, always will have a pin type connector. This is called a male connector. This is called a female connector. Okay, so it will only, there is always a pair. This is a male. So if we connect one side on a cable, it will be one side female, one side male. So now this one, in amplifier, it will never go the other way around. By mistake, if I go and I connect here, it will not go because this is a different type. In a mixer, it will be different type. Okay, now this mixer is a phono jack. Otherwise, normally you have an XLR, so it becomes easy to connect and it works. So it's not happening there. So what it now I cannot connect here because this one it will be a standard. So here they made it a standard. Whatever mic, even for that mic, I'll have to remove this and connect it over here at the back. For that, even if this also was the same type of connector. Okay. So first we'll use the dynamic mic, understand how the sound tuning of dynamic mic. Then we'll go to that and understand that I need power because it's having a preamplifier. So how to get power for that, how it is, what is the settings. Okay. So now I'll connect this one. Once they're finished, I'll connect it on the amplifier. Okay. Connected? Let me see. See, you have tried it, no? It is good, you have given it a shot. Now it is outside, correct? The other two are proper? Okay, good enough. So I'll just shot this outside and I'll just leave it because they are only testing it now. So this is white to red to white, red and the same, positive, negative, negative. And so I'll leave it here so it doesn't get pulled and get shot. Now I'll connect it and we'll confirm. Now I've connected, how I've done, I have a microphone. Cable from the microphone goes to the mixer input. These are inputs. This is output, mix out. Okay. Normally, in most of the mixers you'll get it over here. But if it is not, then here they mentioned it as this is an output, mix left and right. So I will use there as a left and right. Okay. So here we can see written as mic, 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 mic. Then below that is written line, 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 line. Now there is what is mic and what is line. Remember I was telling you there are different voltage, 0.75 volts and all that in watts like that. So here is when I am using a microphone, the signal is very small. So it is in millivolts. When I am connecting a laptop output, it is already having a driver inside. Okay. So that is coming out as a high. So that is 1 volt. So 1 volt is line input. Microphone is a small input. So when I have microphone millivolts and 1 volt. So I can't put millivolts into line and say, oh, it is not coming. So I need a high voltage, that is 1 volt signal to give in line, and a low voltage in this. So after mic, inside the circuit there is a preamplifier, which will preamplify and give into the circuit and come out as all will come equal then. Okay. So now I've connected my mic, I've connected the cable, I've given it to input 1. Then I have to take something out of this, no? This unit, this is my processor, correct? So there is something out. So what cable we made just now? You made a patch, right?
Yes.
No, we're not using the disconnect. They just made parallel, no? Like that. Where are the pins? This one. Where is the XLR? The XLR. It's already connected. Okay. So now what I'm doing is another cable. I'm taking the output, mix out, and I'm connecting the mix out and giving it to the amplifier. Okay. So now my circuit is complete. I remember I told you about the line missing diagram of I speak my cable, mixer into output into amplifier into speaker and listeners. Okay. So my sound shaft is ready. Connectivity. Okay. Now, hello, check. So first thing is I want to see this is channel 1. Can you just see in front if channel 1 is on? First put the amplifier on. There is one on button somewhere here. Light has come.
Yes.
Now there is channel 1 and channel 2 volume control. Increase channel 1 to 50%. That will make it right in the middle. Okay. So what I am doing is first I'm keeping the amplifier to one level, and then I am going to set the mic settings. Okay. So now I am checking. Hello. फैन है ना, हाँ कूलिंग है ना, इसमें कूलिंग है. सम ऑफ द न्यू डिजिटल एम्पलीफायर्स डोंट हैव फैंस आल्सो, और कभी गर्म होता ही नहीं है. So digital amplifiers are cool technology. These are little old technology because they use those drivers, output drivers, they get heated up. So they require cooling facility which will run and hot air will keep coming out like that. Okay. So now there is no sound coming. Here I kept the level, again I'll keep it at certain level. We call it, suppose now you are on the side and I am at home. I couldn't come on the side and you ask me, sir, मेरे को ये setting करना है. So I said, I'll ask you what is the output, on what level it is. So you will, here there are only dash, so you don't know what it is. So we communicate as, again I said, teamwork. So I'll say 12 o'clock. This is at 12 o'clock. So now we use the clock message. So this is what at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever. Then this is the 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever it is. So because it doesn't go more than that. So what happened now, I'll increase this. I've increased this. Now still, hello, sound is coming, no sound yet, okay. So now I have to increase, because this guy is 0 here. Gain is something that I have to open up the mic for connectivity. Hello, check. So it is not seen here also, so I will increase. Hello, check. So now input आ गया इसमें. That means my mic is working, my cable is proper, everything is proper. So till here I know my sound is coming. Hello, check. Hello, check. We didn't change this switch. Check. Can you increase the amplifier from there? We'll increase this one. Hello, check. Hello. Check. Okay, so it is coming on. Hello, check. Hello, check. Hello, check. That's on. Check. Hello, check. Check. Like this. Like this. What's happening there? Hello, 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 hello. Check, check, check. Test 1, 2. Okay, keep it there. I will just increase there. Hello, check. Increase there. I'll reduce here now. Increase. Keep it full. Hello. Hello, hello. Keep it full. I'll increase from here step by step. Hello, hello. Check, 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 check. Test 1, 2. Check. Test 1, 2. Hello, hello, hello. Channel 1, no? That is
channel 1.
hello, 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 hello. Check, 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 check. Hello, check, hello, 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 hello. Like this. That was feedback. Okay, my mic is very close to the speaker, so the sound came in and again returned back into the speaker again. So we have to be very careful because it can damage the speaker. Okay, check, 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 check. Hello. Check, test 1, 2, like this, 1, 2. Hello, check, test 1, 2. Hello, check, test. Overdriving. Hello, like this, like this. Hello, 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 check. Testing 1, 2. Like testing 1, 2. Check, testing. You just see this cable, move this cable back. What is there in that? This is an XLR to XLR. Take care, Nick.
Yes, female.
Female.
हाँ सर, female.
Okay. ये बन रहा है बराबर. Hello. Check. Check, check, check. Okay. So now, for example, we'll just check it out why it is happening. I think there is connectivity problem somewhere. We'll lose connection. So we'll find that. Hello. So now what we have done is we have connected the speaker. Okay. And I'm speaking. Now when I'm changing my gain. Now this is the gain structure. If I increase it, it will become louder. Hello. Check. Test. It doesn't become louder, but it can pick up from a distance now. First I have to speak so closely. Now increase the red one. Hello. Slowly, step by step. Hello. Check. 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 Increase. I want to speak from this distance. Increase it. Hello. 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 So what happened? It is picking up more now. Okay. More the distance I want to pick up because sometimes it doesn't. So that sound is once the sound comes, then it goes into the loop. Okay. We are very too close actually. Normally, you don't stand. The speakers here. The mic should never be in front. It should be always standing behind the speaker. Okay. So maybe I'll just turn it a little bit. Then probably it might not happen. Hello. Check. Now it's clear. Yeah. So that even that sound has become much more crisper. Okay. Now one of you speak. I'll just point at this. Nothing wrong. You must learn to speak. My dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you should not go closer to the mic. Okay. So you keep talking, say something.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah. So now when I increase, you can take the mic further down and speak.
Hello,
Okay?
hello, hello, hello.
Okay. Now you keep saying something, read something or whatever you written. Let's know what you have written. Read that. Sound pressure is reduced. Okay. You look there and read.
Hi Priya, hi Anu, hi Sana, hi Nivedita, hi Rinki.
Okay. Now see what is happening here. There are 3 channels. You keep talking. 1,
Yes,
2,
sir.
3. Now this is.
Sound pressure is reduced by
Yeah. So here it is.
6 dB every time. The distance from the source is doubled. Conversely, the sound pressure
Okay.
increases
Now
by
you listen over here.
6
Here it
dB
is
when
written
the
as LF,
distance from the source is
middle frequency and high frequency. Okay?
reduced
So
one
now what I'm
half.
doing is as she's speaking, I'm
Energy is
reducing the high
inversely
frequency. How
proportional to the
voice
square
change?
of the distance from the
See, I'm
source.
increasing it now. So your symbols are
Sound pressure is reduced by 6
Our
dB
symbols
every
are
time.
better. Okay, so
The
I'll keep
distance
it
from
here.
the
Now
source
if I
is
change this,
doubled.
maybe your speech will
Conversely, the
improve.
sound pressure is inversely by 6 dB when the distance
And if I
from the
reduce it, it
source
become
is
very boxy
reduced by one half. Energy is
very
inversely
box type.
proportional to the
This will
square
be
of
even
the
more
distance
boxy.
from the source.
I'm increasing the low frequency. Speak, continue again.
Sound pressure is reduced by 6
You
dB
can't
every
understand.
time.
Okay,
The
so
distance from the source is doubled. Conversely, the sound pressure increases by 6 dB when the distance from the source is reduced by one half. Energy is the inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the source.
Like this, in 15
Sound pressure is the reduced by
but
6
if I
dB every time.
the quality
The
of the
distance
sound,
from the source is doubled. Inversely, the
the
sound pressure
this
increases
is called
by 6
listening
dB
fatigue.
when the distance from the source is reduced by one half. Energy is inversely proportional to the square of the distance from the source.
Good. One.
Hi. Ma'am, I forgot your name. Bhairavi. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, so you kind of understood what I'm doing. Now I'll speak. Now one of you keep taking the changes, okay? My dear friends, dear brothers, dear sisters, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can you hear me? Check testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As we go further, we know we have to be there all the time. Thanking you once and all. Raise your hands if you like it. Check. Testing 1, 2. Only one hand came up. I'm sorry. It was not good. You get a prize for that. Check. Testing 1, 2. Mic test 1, 2. So you can make out when you're changing those three channels, the three EQ, that is called an equalization channel. Okay. So you start getting a different tone. So you have to set it to get a very good quality. Okay. That's how the setting has to happen. Now this was dynamic, so we connected into mic and it worked properly. Now when we are going to the gooseneck, you require power. If you connect direct, it will not work. Okay. So now what you do is, I'll disconnect this and we'll connect it on that and try and use that microphone. Since I don't have extra cables made, it is there, but I don't have it here right now. So what we'll do is, see, I'm connecting this. Now, when I put this on, there is no light coming here because the power is not coming from the system. And there is a battery, but we have not put any battery. Okay. So what I'm doing is, in this mixers, there is something called phantom power. Can you see anywhere? Any red button is there? You can see. Now, before you change it, you have to reduce this volume because now the gain structure will be different. Okay. So one red button is there. What is written there?
Media and 7/8. 7.
This is not having a phantom. Studio master. That side there is. This mixer they don't have it. Sorry. We'll do it from this. When we go to the DSP, we'll check it out on the DSP and we'll have it. Normally you have a button over there which is always red only because it's power, and it will be written as minus 48 volts or 48 volts or phantom power. So when you press that button of phantom power, then this mic will work, otherwise the mic won't work. Okay. So now since it is not happening with this, backside also there will be button. I have this is right Studio Masters. No? So we will. You understood how the mixer works now? Okay. So you connect multiple all the channels as setting. You will go to one output. Okay. And that output goes straight to the amplifier. So you get a mixer. You cannot join wires like remember in old days we had cable TV. केबल टीवी में दूसरा न्यू कनेक्शन आ गया नेबर के घर पे तो आपका कनेक्शन निकालेगा उसमें ही तार जो करेक्ट अभी निकलने का टाइम पे अगर मेरा वायर शॉर्ट हो गया ना तो एम्पलीफायर खराब होने का चांस 100% quite a high percentage. So what we do is switch off the amplifier before we do any other work. Switch it off. So now what happens, even if I remove and I touch it by mistake, वायर टच भी हो गया तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं. सब कभी बोल नहीं सकते ना सडनली आई डू समथिंग समबडी टचेस मी एंड देन नो वायर इधर का उधर टच हो गया. सो बेस्ट इज लाइक हाउ हम लोग सप्लाई का निकलते हैं वी स्विच ऑफ द डीबी एंड देन डू द पावर स्विच का काम करने का है. Okay, so can you do this? This is also same terminal type. You have to open and just put it inside and fix. Negative goes to negative.
निगेटिव हाँ ठीक है फिट कर
Is it interesting?
Yes.
Subject is good. Next time for your functions now, Christmas is coming, New Year is coming. We all can say mic करके set up कर देगा.
हाँ वैसे
You can borrow the speaker from me. I will charge the rent, no problem.
हो रहा है
थोड़ा सा दिखेगा ना.
वो भी कौन है साथ में करना
इसमें एक ऐसा you get a spanner also, so you can put it in and turn it from outside. और इस दिखाने के लिए So any questions in this? Anything you all missed out? Anything you didn't understand or थोड़ा confused हो गया, complicated हो गया? जो मैंने आपको दिखाया. Sound, chain, connectivity. You all saw there were 3 wires. Nobody asked me why is the 3 wires. Which speaker में 2 वायर ही है, positive negative. ये उसमें क्यों 3 वायर है माइक में? आपने कोई पूछा नहीं माइक का. माइक पे 3 वायर था ना अभी. ब्लैक है यहाँ पे. एक ग्राउंड है, एक व्हाइट वायर है और एक हमें रेड और व्हाइट और व्हाटएवर एंड वन इज ब्लैक वायर. So why we have 3 wires here?
नेगेटिव पॉजिटिव ग्राउंड
So negative, positive ground. There is something called when we are having a microphone, correct? You saw this cable is very long cable. Now suppose I was standing there and speaking, so my cable and amplifier is over there. That much of length. Now side of that there will be some electrical circuit or some machineries will be here. Some good machine चालू है या AC चालू है. And if my cable is closer to that, that will make electrical will start making noise. करेक्ट. इलेक्ट्रिकल स्पार्किंग होता है ना, कभी मोटर चलता है तो कभी घर में चालू करता है तो लाइट डिम होता है, मिक्सर चालू होता है तो सडनली लाइट्स कम होता है बिकॉज़ इट इज टेकिंग पावर, इट इज गिविंग. सो दोस काइंड नॉइसेस विल कम ऑन द केबल. सो टू अवॉइड दैट we have the signal path is, suppose I'm giving positive cycle to this will go negative cycle and this is the ground. So this and this is my actual terminal and this is the opposite terminal. So if there is noise, the noise is created on both the channels. And when it comes to the mixer, no, the mixer will understand there is noise, not signal, because signals are supposed to be opposite phase. So noise to noise same आ गया ना तो cancel हो जाता है. Noise to this is called as XLR connectors or noise cancellation speaker. Okay. XLR is the better way to connect. If I had only 2 connections, I can still connect with 2 connections, but the quality will not be as good as when I connect with 3 connections. With 3 connections, I can take my cable 30 meters also, but with 2 connections, if I run it, suddenly FM का signal pick up हो जाएगा. वायरलेस करना है, पुलिस वायरलेस जाता है तो वो भी उसका भी साउंड इसमें आ जाएगा. You are speaking or doing presentation or you are praying, then suddenly some noise will come. To avoid that, it is best to use a balanced. This is called a balanced. के लिए भी ना ये ब्रीफ कनेक्टर लेना है। Hi, how are you? Welcome. It's my guru.
No, no, no.
He is my guru.
We are all
I
each
learn-
other.
I
We learn
learn-
from everyone.
That is there after a long down the line. Just did with the mixer and analog stuff testing. Yes. हम लोग को ये कनेक्टर्स दिख रहा है अभी finding post. Now this is my processor, okay? I said, like how here we had the XLR connectors and all that thing. Here too, when you go on the site, you sit down and do a soldering and all that thing. It's going to take a lot of time. So they come out with something more easier is for this, like this kind of connectors. These are called captive connectors, captive screw connectors. If you see the connector, similar type like this. This is now 2 pins. That is a 3 pin. So like that you have 2, 3, 5, depending upon what connection the companies will provide. Okay. So since you all just now you all did, you all done the speaker connectors and opened it up and all. So this is captive screw connectors. So when you put it inside, it clamps the wire. So it doesn't. These are very nice. It lasts long. So on installation, we can undo. Now we did same thing. We had to do it from here to there, there to here. So we could do it faster. Otherwise, take the soldering iron, connect it, de-solder it, and again solder it. All that time is saved. Okay. So these are one of the types of connectors. Yeah, I told you connect. There are color codes available for a lot of things. So this also has got a color code. They have inside this. There's a motherboard. There are multiple cards in this model. I'm talking about this model. So there will be an input card which has got two connectors in each. And this is an output card. So I need a mixer which has got an input and an output. Okay. Now here we had output is only mix out. We didn't have any other output over here. We had a phones out. Okay. Record out is also available. So let that you have multiple outs for different. You can take it for particular functions you want to conduct. Now suppose I had a mixer and I wanted to have the other class also connected. I could have taken one of the connections and given it to an amplifier over there, and that also will work. So same sound, everything connected will also can be used for the second classroom. So or more rooms or multiple rooms, I can do the connections. So similar way, we have multiple outputs. I can tune everything for different purpose. I told you now subwoofer requires low frequency, correct? So I can't give the full signal to the speaker and then expect that speaker to do magic and make me only give low frequency. What I do is I process it, remove the high frequency, all the unwanted stuff, and give only the frequency that speaker wants. So I can have a separation, give that output. Suppose I say this 4 number is for subwoofer, and I'll tune it such a way. I'll show you on the graph, and then I can give only that to the subwoofer. So the subwoofer knows, मेरे को इतना ही चाहिए था, मेरे को मिला बस.
What is the filter called for subwoofer? If there is a name?
What will be the name of the filter?
It's called a filtration.
Low pass filter. You have read about high pass filter, low pass filter, band pass filter. For subwoofer, it will be low pass. It will be sending low frequencies, blocking the
So
high
it will
frequency.
pass only the low frequency. We just need, I told you, we require only low frequency for the subwoofer. Okay. So here I have got something called orange connector, and for this model, this orange connector will have inputs for acoustic control. So AEC cards are there. So they are little
Echo
cancellation. Okay. So these cards are different or more expensive. We don't use it, but I have it as a demo kit, so it is always there. These are normal inputs which we have in the analog. So again, you have 3 pins, so we can connect balance circuitries over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at the moment, I have this many. These can be populated according to your requirement. So that is, if I say I want 15 or 18, then I put that many extra cards and I can make it with that type of configuration. Yeah. I have a programming control. Now I have how to control this to this. So I will use a LAN connectivity to this. So my laptop talks to this device, and then I'm able to see what is happening to this and make the program change, and whatever changes I make will be in this memory of this. Once I disconnect, I can save my file for further use next time, and this will always remain till somebody else connects and makes the changes. Okay, so till somebody touches it, it will remain perfect. Like here, anybody can come. You know, human tendency always got habit. You know, idhar aayega. So you tend to fiddle with everything. Like you go outside. Some people have got the habit of touching all the pillars. Tuck, 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 tuck. To काम करने हैं, but they will start. You know, that's the habit. So like that, people, they see something, they like to fiddle. Somebody will come increase, somebody will come decrease, somebody touch this, somebody touch that. Somebody like blue color, you fiddle with the blue color. So to avoid all these kind of, and we have everything is in on a software basis. Okay. Now I need a cat, this thing, cat cable for this. What cable is this? Ethernet cable, okay, LAN cable. What is this cable? What is this cable? This is the audio cable. Connector. There are 2 types of this. This is HDMI. For my testing, I need one always in my mind. So taking a big cable and putting it heavyweight. I have a small one. So this is, I'll show you the connectivity. So now I'll connect one my laptop to this device and program it. So this one is, what is this connection? Now I disconnect from here. I'll show you. I was talking to a balance, correct? Now in stereo, I have 2 wires coming in, left and right. and ground. Okay, so that doesn't make me a balanced circuit because signal is coming on this also, signal is coming on this also. It is not the negative one. This is the same signal. Left channel audio hello. So is coming here, low is coming here. So when I'm speaking hello, so two signals have to come in with the ground base. So these are coming as mono. They are not coming as stereo, but two channels mono become one stereo in this. Now if I connect this to the other side, it will cancel it, so I won't get sound coming in it. So what I'm doing is I'm using as a mono input, but to make that loop, I have connected this with the ground. I have connected it, made a ground loop. So this is the negative, and negative and ground is common. So this is connected as a mono, not a balanced. Okay. I'll explain it more further. Another good question. So I have connected three inputs. I need one output. इसका जो output है ना, ये ग्रे कलर का वायर किधर है? बराबर है इनपुट है. ये मेरा माइक है. ये माइक है वन, ये माइक टू है. ये बराबर है. तो कैसे किया? अगर ग्राउंड ऊपर किया तो उसको पहले माइक को ग्राउंड से बराबर है. ग्रे कलर ग्रे कलर मेरा आउटपुट हो गया. So this is the software that is there. Okay, can you see it? This is for this model. This is the software. So every model will have a different software. This is the Biam company using. There are two types of now there are three actually. So it has got another smaller DSP for smaller use, bigger DSP for bigger use. So this is more of a bigger, because old generation. The new ones are different. Desira has come up. So this is the Audio Flex. So I'm using Audio in this. Now I have connected everything. I have to switch on the system and then I will be able to talk to the device. Okay. To talk to the device, both of them have to be on the same network. Same network. Okay. So I will do it. Normally we should keep the same connectors to the same thing, but now this is a testing thing and we don't have much time to play with, so I just let it go with whatever is the connection that is there.
Yes.
ये माइक का ही ना, ये दो माइक के साथ है.
एक हैंडल में एक हैंडल में
तो इधर चार कनेक्शन है. ये येलो वाला को क्या बराबर है. फिर ये दूसरा वाला जो आया ये इधर गया.
हैंडल.
हाँ ये है. फिर ये तीसरा वाला
इसका कौन सा है?
ये सबका मैं इनपुट में उसका आउट में अपने connect the power, then I'll connect the system and I'll show you how it works. What is the DSP? Now there is a red light I told you. I'm checking now. Red only. all three green means it is working fine. Now since I have connected my LAN connectivity and all, just go to connect. See, as soon as I connect, it showed me that device is available. Okay, so now I'm connecting into the device. Connect the system. Now I just wanted to show you how we can play with the sound quality. Okay. Now here we had an input block. Here we had an output block. Correct. So these were all input. This was output. So here we have the same thing. We have input block. We have an output block. We have a processor in the middle. This was the EQ of the processor of per channel. So here we have EQ of per channel depending upon how you can play with it, but I'm just showing you in general similar thing, but it's in digital format. Okay. So I'll open the thing and see where I'm standing. Now already there is somewhere some signal is come. That means the system is working. Now we can switch on the amplifier. We switched it off, right?
Actually, you should mute all the inputs. So what is this feedback? This is called feedback.
And what kind of frequency was this feedback?
What was the frequency?
Like
Tone.
roughly, how was the tone?
High frequency, mid frequency, low
High.
frequency. This was low frequency.
High or low? अच्छा हाई पैक लास्ट टाइम कैसा था? ऐसा सब लोग भाग गए यहाँ से.
Now, some tunes, ना, tone है ना इसमें.
Tone
Tone
भी है.
है.
Pink generation.
So output going to input and coming back creates a loop. So to cut the loop, you have to cut the input.
That is it. We can't do this kind of things at the site, huh? So now we just connect again. Switch on the muted it. एक ही करते हैं पहला स्पीकर का चेक करते हैं
50% चला
I'm just putting one at a time on now. Check. Hello. Check. Test 1 2. Which one is working? Hello. Check. Test 1 2. Hello. Check. Test 1 2. Okay. Now we have the small speaker, right? We are just given general input, direct output, no tweaking, nothing. Now I'll switch off the first one, and we'll just show the column. Hello. Check. Hello. Check. Hello. Check. Test 1 2. Hello. Check this 1 2. Hello. Check. So what I did is I've increased the gain. Okay. So now from a distance I can speak. Hello. Check. Hello. Check. You remember the gain? This is the red buttons which we were doing, making the changes. So I am just making the changes here. So here you can see there is something called power. Phantom power is there here. If I remove the phantom power, which we didn't have in that mixer, now mic has gone off. Okay. So this kind of microphones, you will need a phantom power. Okay. Check. So dynamic mic requires phantom power. The dynamic mic requires no. So we don't need for that. So I will just connect it directly. Speak.
Hello. Hello, check. Hello, check. Hello. Hello, check.
Now
Hello,
that doesn't need phantom power. So there is no
Check.
phantom power on channel 3. I have increased the input gain, which I was doing, the red one, and remaining I have not touched anything. So I have kept that. Now here there are multiple outputs which I could do. I can give the low pass for the thing, for subwoofer and all that. No? And connect the subwoofer. Okay, so I will have to put the block for the low pass and allow it to only pass for that. So there are a lot of things. Now in this there are multiple type of equalizations I can do. Okay, like here it was fixed. I couldn't do more than just those 3 buttons. But here I can play with it. Now in this, for example, I'll show you. I'll go to number 3. Okay, keep speaking.
Hello, check, mic testing. Hello, check, mic testing. 1, 2.
I'm changing this. This is a high pass.
Hello.
So I'm just EQing that part of it. So I'm not allowing it. So I have cut it down after 300 Hz. So it is not going more than that. So now if I give him, see now it will be better.
Hello, check, mic testing. Hello.
So this is, I can play with this. Then I can have in the same, I can also have a parametric. I can find places I can make certain frequencies. I can just cut off if there is some noise or a feedback or something like that. You know, there is some kind of a hiss coming, correct?
Yes.
So I'll try to remove that hiss. This is very sensitive mic, no? Bypass it. Now speak.
Hello, check, mic testing. Hello, check. Hello, check.
Now we done some changes for it, so his voice has changed. Okay, keep talking.
Hello, check, mic testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hello, mic
So
check.
how you want, what type of quality of sound you want, we can fine tune it over here. What here we had limitations. Here we can actually have more better. And once it is done, once it is set, you would like the ambience, like if there are acoustics related problems, you can play with that. I'm not saying that you can do it perfect. Preferable acoustics, you have to do treatment of the area, but in certain places, some things I can play with it using this electronic devices. Okay.
I have a question. Can we make his voice Amitabh Bachchan's voice using all this processing? Can we? Anyone? The purpose is not that you can't change voices like that. The purpose is to try to see how you can make use of the space, acoustics, and make sure that your system functions better. But you can't change the voice from one person to another. That is not the purpose.
Okay, so this was basically we are tweaking a particular kind of set of frequencies to give the quality improvement. Okay, to avoid feedbacks, to avoid noise. If there are certain particular noise, then I cut off, because if it is not going to interfere with my speech, then I'll cut off those areas. So I can play in this kind of thing. And it is per channel. So when I opened up, I was doing channel number 3. Okay, so I can play that. Then you have a proper level control. Then there's something called matrix mixing. So I can, which channel I want to give to which output. Like suppose now I want 2 mics, out of 4 mics here, 2 mics goes only in that room and 2 mics to be used in this room. then I can say that those two mics will not work here, but it will work in that room. So that output, I will just run a cable and put it into their amplifier and it will work. So those two mics will always work in that room, but not in this room. Till I open up the matrix saying that I want it in both the rooms. Like that. So I can do it as a combined room or single room or something like that. Okay? So here also you have the meters which we have, but here we can have as an individual meter input. You can have more meters for the output. So like there are a lot of features, but again there is limitations to everything. Like how you have your RAM in your PC, that also it has got a particular amount of space available for you to play with it. So you can't go about it. Say I do all the things, then it will show that there is no more space for new blocks to be used inside that thing. Okay. Getting the idea, no, what I'm saying in the audio part of it. So now you could handle it easily. This is okay for small programs and all. You can still take and play. Now I showed you the difference in the type of speakers which we are using, the different quality part of it. Okay. Here, if you go further down, you will still hear my sound much clearer with that same level here and there. Here, if this speaker will be loud here, but if you go further down, you will have it. So if I want a person to hear there, I will have to increase the level. Then this person sitting right in front will find it's too loud for him. But in this, I can manage just up the amount of the difference between the first person and the last person where it can reach. The dB level is very, very negligible or very small depending on the model, depending on the type of speaker. So I can control and I can maintain like keeping this 2 dB, 3 dB, which is not very loud for anybody right in front. Okay. So these are very good for place of worships. It goes well for railway stations, airports, at the airports and all that, where announcements and all that happen for a long distance. Because you are not going closer to the speaker, say, announcement for that. At the stations we do because you can't hear it. But otherwise, we want to hear it at a longer space. So even if you are close by or further, you can still hear it. So I'll leave this thing here for the day. We can always come and work on it, try something. But don't overdrive or we'll keep the levels low. But don't try to increase the volume levels anywhere here and there. But you can ask me questions when you're not doing it during the lunchtime. So now you want to break for lunch? 12 o'clock? Double aaya? Mangana padega. So we take a break and come as fast as possible. So we are all into we get more time for us to hear and then you can leave early if that's the case. Okay. Then I'll show you how this is bad cable management. Okay. This is very bad cable. Yes, you are not shaking your head. Now I want you all to come and start showing how we can organize it well. There has to be a method, labeling, tagging. Okay, I got a machine there, but we can show you how we can make a tag, understand. So tomorrow if you are not come, some other engineer comes, how he is able to do. So that is on the third day we are supposed to do it. But at least to understand this is not nice. Customer will come, kya hai? You know? And tomorrow if you are not, then another engineer comes. So every wire he'll have to start going.
See there, you can see the all tag number.
So there also it is very well organized. So something like that we also do for AV system perfectly.
There it will be just numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it will be input, output.
Which one?
Mic level,
Going to
mic
where,
level.
yeah. Mic 1, mic 2, whatever. So look, go, we take a very quick one and come enjoy your. So don't go to sleep after that. Don't eat any food. Good.
I decided to come.